Hi everyone, this is a supplemental lesson for the crossover, and I'm today going to help you a little bit more with doing some work on characterization. I gave everybody a choice of several worksheets that they can use, but I'm going to make an example out of the worksheet that's called Through the Keyhole. So what you need to do on this worksheet is to draw a picture. We're imagining that we can see the character's bedroom through the door keyhole, and we're going to draw what you might see. So in this picture we're looking at what we might see in Filthy McNasty's room, and I waited to write down the descriptions because I wanted to go through and show you where I found the things that I drew and why I picked those, and then what I want you to write. You don't have to draw them. I'm not a very good artist. If you would prefer to find clip art and cut it out and paste it on there, that's fine. If you would prefer to make a digital copy of this worksheet and manipulate it digitally through some sort of art program, or copy and paste using clip art, that's fine as well. So we just want to see some of the things that you might find in the bedroom. Okay? So I'm going to, luckily when we think about characterization, a lot of time the authors try to describe the character toward the beginning of the book because they're giving us a baseline for what the character is like at the beginning of the stories, and they may sprinkle in some more details further in, but for the most part we really can find a lot of really good and rich information at the beginning. So I went not too far in. I only went in 30 pages into the story and found enough stuff to draw to complete this exercise, to give us a good start on talking about what kind of a character Josh is, Josh or Filthy McNasty. Okay, so the first page that I'm looking at here is on page 8, and let me see if I can get this to focus in. And I'm looking specifically at this paragraph right here, and Mom says she's talking about his name, and she says, "It fits you perfectly, Josh," she said. "You never clean your closet, and that bed of yours is always filled with cookie crumbs and candy wrappers. It's just plain nasty, son." So even though this is a literal interpretation of what I'm asking you to do, in other words, that paragraph there literally tells us what his bedroom looks like, it also gives us some insight into his character, okay? And even if she were describing his backpack or his place at the table where he does homework, anything like that, we could sort of use those same details. So on this drawing, I've done a picture of the bed that's unmade. I've put in a closet that's got clothes that are all sort of unfolded, and his backpack's in the middle of the room. So it gives us a good idea of maybe what his room is like, and maybe that his priorities do not lie within keeping a very neat and clean bedroom. So when we looked at this again, we were looking on page 8, so we have our evidence. Here's our evidence right here. Okay? And so what we can do is when we go back to our worksheet, it asks you to write about your drawing on the lines outside. So we can sort of label this as, let me get this down so you can see what I'm writing. We can label this as a messy room. We can say unmade bed, messy closet, candy wrappers. This is my little candy wrapper on the bed here, and some more wrappers on the floor here. They're not the best drawings, but it doesn't matter because I'm explaining them in writing in the margin. Candy wrappers. Okay. And I'm going to make sure that I cite that page. Okay, when we cite a page, remember, we're giving a reference to where we found the information so that either we or our reader can go back to that page and really make sure that we are supporting our evidence, that we are backing up our claim. So I'm not making up that he has a messy room. I'm not assuming that he has a messy room. I have found evidence in the text that he has a messy room. So I'm going to write page 8. Okay, and that tells me where I found the evidence for that information. Okay. The second one, and I've marked these with markers so I can find them really quickly, but the second one is under the poem called 5 Reasons I Have Locks, and he says, some of my favorite rappers have them. Sorry about that focusing. Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz, and Whale. So I thought that if somebody has a favorite rapper, that they might choose to have a poster of that rapper in their bedroom. So I have put a little poster of Lil Wayne up here on the side wall. And again, not the best drawing, but that's okay. If I can't draw, I certainly don't expect you to be able to. So this is going to say poster of Josh's favorite rapper. And again, I'm going to remember to cite where I got this evidence from, okay? So this is on page 14, where I am under the poem 5 Reasons I Have Locks. So I'm just going to put page 14, okay? Let's see what's next. So this is this is Josh's play-by-play talking about a game that he's having, and I noticed when I was reading this poem that he is the name of his high school is Reggie Lewis Junior High. So we know that he's in middle school, because junior high and middle school are different names for about the same grade levels. We know Josh is in 7th grade. So I am going to make a little, and this is a terrible poster, I apologize, but we've got it right here, and we have a poster of his, a school poster of his junior high. Okay, so that maybe he has some school spirit, and that's found on page 27. Okay. And then the last one that I found was, and this becomes very important later in the book, and we'll read about this. Ode to My Hair, and he begins to talk about how important his hair is, how he would treat it like gold. So